it isn't the interview I was watching, right? Because they're legendary interviewers. They're legendary, radio hosts. But it just got me thinking how much like, man, I miss good journalism. I miss good interviews. I miss good conversation. You don't get that enough. Like I feel like there's just so much journalistic integrity that is gone. Don't even give me talking about political standpoint, but even within music and entertainment and art, there's just so much depth gone. There's so much like people are having the conversation with somebody just to have the conversation with somebody, but there's no food or fruit from it. It feels just like the other 10 stops that they have planned, especially if it's a music artist who's dropping an album. You can go to every single, radio show interview and see the same amount of questions, the same. And it's like, man, like what, what happened? I know what happened. Triggered me because I'm just so passionate. Like if you really knew me, like I my degree was in journalism at one point. Like I went from journalism, saw the change from physical to digital, and adjusted to like PR to like get into that marketing realm of things. But I've always been into it. I'm just so passionate about it. And sometimes it just drives me crazy. When I was in community college, I was in college, and I was like doing like some journalism. I think I have an image of it. The video is on a CD, and I have no idea how to burn CDs, but like I remember going to school for broadcasting for a certain minute and taking broadcasting classes. When I first even moved up to Colorado, I was doing blogging and doing like interviews to make my own like digital magazines and write articles and doing all these interviews. It was just for the love of like storytelling and like really how passionate I am into these interviews and like having these conversations and being able to tell like there's it's so powerful and how much you can really do and the impact you can have, how much you can change your life and others if you just put in the work to really you know care about the craft of it to a certain extent. And I have my in the pandemic. I had my podcast, the No One's Cares podcast. Did it all on my own.
He'll hit us up randomly. He's like, "Yo, what if we did this color?" Blah, blah, blah. So, super nice dude.
Quick question, my bad. Is it mainly you working with Cole, or is it like working with Cole and Ibrahim, or is it like working with?
Cole, and is it just mainly
It's
Cole because of
mainly
his
just
deal?
Cole, but Eve be there. Eve's there too, though. Eve's usually he comes in after we have like picked the line out basically, or like, and we need to
Mm.
pick some last colors, and he'll come and give his 2 cents too. Shout out to Eve for the dream bill.
Got to talk to so many people in the footwear industry, people who look like me, who showed me I could be in the footwear industry, and I care so much about those interviews and the conversation and what I was saying and the responses and who I was and what I was getting from it. Like I was really passionate. Even now, even in the spot I'm in now, like being able to lend that same passion to community voices with where I'm at now. And I've spoken to so many people, which is extremely a blessing. None of this is like I'm getting to a point. But I remember speaking to Big Sean, which is one of my favorites of all time. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I think that is the perfect way to bring things to a close, Big Sean. I can't appreciate you enough. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for the work that you do from Detroit to the whole city, to the state, to the country. Just thank you for
Yeah,
the work that you do from the music to the book. Go higher. Make sure y'all get that book now. Like I said,
yeah.
I'm reading that today, tonight. So please believe.
Appreciate that.
Um,
Appreciate that, brother. Nice meeting you, man. I hope I see you soon. I'll be going on tour and stuff soon, so we gonna figure it out, man. I hope I see you there for sure.
Shador, I'm not even gonna speak on that. I'm not gonna step on that. I think that's the perfect way to end this episode, man. Shador, thank you so much for cutting out time to do this and just for the work that we're doing and excited to continue to do more work together throughout the year.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Legendary.
Rhapsody, Katy Perry, basketball players galore, Paul George.
If we could add one more team, we'll throw Boston in there.
No. Yes. Yes. That's a good one too. I'm telling you, like y'all's team, like the things that people don't see is how much like I was putting into those questions, how much like I would do my research. It means the world to me. I have an interview with Jaden Smith that never came out, unfortunately. I'll never forget doing that interview. And man, he said like this is one of the best interviews he ever had. Like he was super excited. I made him feel comfortable. Mine and some time with me, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it too. This was a really great interview. So thank you.
And it just those things keep me going. And I feel like sometimes it's one of like my gifts from God to be able to like tap into this from such a pure place. And that's why when I see like bad interviews or lackluster interviews, I try not to be a critic. I try not to talk any mess. But it's just like, man, if I had that opportunity, I'd go crazy. I would like pure passion, pure art, and it took me a minute to think about it. But it's like, yo, like, what's stopping you too, right? Like, I'm a firm believer in you can criticize and point out all the flaws and other things, but like, what are you doing to improve it, or what are you doing? And it got me thinking. I've been doing so much for others as far as like putting my work and like my passion into other things, and it's like, yo, it's hard for me to get back into it. Like I get motivated when I get motivated when I see Deontay Kyle and Big Cat and the Eggs and Grits and Eggs podcast. Like that, I love that. It moves me because I'm like, man, they doing it right. When I see Elliot and B Dot in their own areas, like it does so much for me. Even when I see Rob Markman, who doesn't do interviews but still like does his own show and does his own work in his own way, it does something for me, man. And like I can't keep silencing one of my gifts. I can't keep silencing something that like brings me joy and happiness and is a passion of mine. Like quite frank, like it's time to like show yourself. I refuse to believe that the pull to want to do these things isn't coming from nowhere because I've ignored it for so long and put it to the side and made my list of people that I would want to interview and have a conversation with and dream scenarios of doing shows and having a venue and inviting people here and having this guest and like having a really impactful conversation. Like you had all those dreams, you push them to the side. They're all in your notes. They're all on your phone. Like the pull is not for no reason. Why are you ignoring something that you should be paying attention to? Again, the purest of the art form. I'm not trying to start no podcast. I'm not trying to be no video podcast, like create a whole show. I'm still canvas, painting, putting it on the wall in the gallery. I'm still taking that approach. But it all plays into the greater scheme of what I'm doing. But I really want to do it. I'm going to. I'm excited. So I think my first bounce back into this, I really want to get Camille on the show. Or not, I'm saying show already. I guess call it whatever. That's what's coming out of me to say, then I'm gonna say it. But I would love to have a conversation with Camille. There's a story behind that too. We were supposed to have a conversation a while back. We did, but a lot of things happened back in the day, and it was just a really bad day. I think it was the day like Kobe passed. It was a lot going on. It was a tough day. She accomplishes so many amazing things. She's phenomenal now. Some of the work that she's done that I've been watching from the sideline, and I'm ready to ask her about it and understand like on tour with Kendrick and SZA on this grand national tour, and what are you doing there? Like, how are you making this work? How'd you like? Tell me the story. You know what I mean? I'm excited to do that. So, Camille, if you're watching this, need you on, and I really, wholeheartedly, y'all. I know I'm bringing this video to an end. I've done this so much. I remember at one point I was doing this No One Cares podcast, and I had hit up, had Kevin Troutman from New Balance on my show at the time too, and I was on Twitter heavy back when Twitter was Twitter before Mr. Musk ruined it. Like I was like, man, I want to do a conversation with Joe Freshgoods one day. I want to make that happen. And my community at times showed up and was tagging him. Joe, hop on. Joe, he waiting for you. Joe, pull up for a conversation. And I don't even know if I have it tweet. If I have it, the tweet in my phone, I will post it. But he literally hit me and was like, yo, like, pull up, let's do it. If you're ever out in Chicago, let's do it. Pull up. And granted, a lot of things have happened in the meantime. Hopefully I can still, that pass from years ago hasn't expired. Because I'm definitely going to try to cash it in one day. Please believe that. To get back into, tapping into some of these music artists, some of my favorite music artists that come into town, and get it back into that space. And I think it would be phenomenal. It would be a blessing. I'm going to speak it into existence. Gene Dawson has been one of my favorite artists in the past couple of years. I tell people this all the time. I'm always talking about his music. I still listen to his music a lot. His last album was phenomenal. And I'm always interested in his interviews and his way he puts art together. And he's coming to Boulder for a solo show in September. And I've actually bought tickets to go to that. I don't really even go to a lot of shows these days anymore. So you can imagine how big of a fan I am to take my black ass to Boulder to go see one of my favorite artists right now, Gene Dawson. And I say all that to say because I think it would be really cool to do an interview. I'll pull up. I'll pull up to the venue early, whichever you need me to do. Or we can pick a spot. I know a homie, maybe homie at the Canoe Club, fire clothing shop around the block in Boulder. Maybe he can create some space for me to, have a good 15, 20-minute conversation, interview with you, to really chat. You don't have many interviews. It would be an honor to chat with one of my favorite artists. It's not just dive into the music, but who he is and understand how that mind works to a certain extent without, being unhuman about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know always what went into the music in full detail because to a certain extent, the art is created for me to understand and interpret on my own without it being said. Most of it's the show and not tell. But I do think there's the other side of things where it's the person who's interpreting the art and how it's making them feel. And I know all day, every day, they probably hear about how it's a favorite song of theirs or their song saved their life and all that, this and that. But there's a connection between this, what the music does and how it comes to life that I think is just so impactful when it comes to having a conversation in the middle. Gene Dawson, if you're watching this, hopefully enough people have tapped into the comments to get your attention, man. When you're in Boulder in September, I would love to pull up on you for a quick 10 to 15 minute convo, man. Something real meaningful, something real, and respectful and appreciative of your art and what you do and who you are as a person. Would love to, make that happen if you're open to it. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I could yap on this all day, but it's time to put in the work. It's time to get back to work. It's time to put in the work. So hopefully the next time you see me here soon, I'll be having my first, conversation going. I don't know how it's going to come to life. I don't know how it's going to look, but I know it's going to happen. Again, appreciate y'all joining. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, please. It would be much appreciated. If you don't want to subscribe to it, spread this video, share it to your stories, share my page or whatever to your stories, whichever you know what to do. But again, appreciate y'all.